Hello everyone and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We're about to start the trial. Maya is on trial for murder. And the case against her is both bad and also seems not like there's a lot of holes in it. In one case, literally. June 21st, 9:48, District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. What? Prosecutor Von Karma? You mean... No, I heard it's his successor this time. Successor? Manfred Von Karma was a really sinister man. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks all so he could win. He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years, and I stopped it. Who knows what sorts of dirty tricks he used to get each of those guilty verdicts. And now his successor. I wonder what kind of person they will turn out to be. It's no good. Mystic Maya. Pearly. You showed up. Thanks for coming all this way. I was really worried about you. Hey, where's your mother? Didn't you two come together? Mother is watching over the trainees. She said they have training for 2 days straight with no breaks. Huh? Then you came all by yourself? Yup, I snuck out of the manor and followed a map. Don't tell me you walked all the way here. Of course not. I ran. I like this girl. I can't. Oh my. If it takes 2 hours by train, oh man. Pearly, what about the train? Huh? What's a train? I give up. It's time, isn't it? I'm really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me? At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nicer to me than Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth? Who's that? He's Nick's rival. Well, he's also a friend. I still remember him as though I'd seen him only yesterday. Every trial was a scorchingly fierce battle until the very end. It was always back and forth with them, but when you're rivals for life... Maya, please don't mention that name ever again. Huh? But why, Nick? I'm sorry, Maya, I forgot you don't... Oh, what?! I'm about to flip table on this. He's gone? And he's not coming back? What? Wait a second. What's that supposed to mean? Court will commence shortly. Please proceed into the courtroom. Let's go. Now's not the time to talk about that anyway. Nick? There's no Edgeworth in this game? Or they're keeping it from me. Order is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. Are the prosecution and the defense prepared? What is with this kid? Mr. Wright, are you prepared? Huh? Yes, Your Honor. Why does he always seem mad at me? Mr. Phoenix Wright. You must be a little shocked because I'm a woman, correct? Actually, the way they were playing the pronoun game, I had my suspicions. Hold on, so she's the famed successor to Prosecutor Von Karma? Yeah, just the language they used. I am Franziska Von Karma, the prodigy. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Oh, I'm assuming that's against us. Why does she have a whip in court? That's what that is, right? Revenge? Is this about her father, Manfred Von Karma? It's something of a personal nature. I'm sure you can... Ow! I'm talking. What? She just whipped the judge! If you interrupt again, my whip will do the speaking for me. Please speak with your mouth like a normal person. I beg of you. Gow! Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Prosecutor Von Karma, your opening statement, please.
Those of Von Karma blood have only one fate, and that is perfection. I don't know. I took down your dad pretty hard. Just saying. The defendant, Maya Fey, will find no escape from her guilt on my watch.
Very well. What is the defense's position?
Your Honor?
Does the defense wish to enter a plea of not guilty?
Yes. Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. 10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right. I'll have you running for the justified self-defense plea in no time.
Huh? Justified self-defense?
A plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of themselves. We could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defense, but... The defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor. Because to plead justified self-defense is to say you did kill someone. Assuming that's less jail time. How foolish. Oop, press the button. Press it. What is happening? I don't know what that was. Okay. If that's how you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I shall now call my first witness. She's just as scary as her father. Father, like daughter, I suppose. Gumshoe, you can't be a witness. Not unless you're on our side. Witness, your name and occupation. Yes, sir, my name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct. Ah! Get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder. Yes, sir. If everyone would please look at this map. The channeling chamber has no windows and the door was locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room.
What were they doing in there?
They were channeling a spirit, sir.
Channeling a spirit?
That's quite the look of disbelief there, Your Honor. Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses broke the door down and rushed into the room.
Ah, and that's when they found that the victim was already dead, correct? I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I have ever presided over.
I got floor plans, okay.
So, how was the victim killed?
I was about to get to that. Stop wasting my time, then. Cause of death, okay. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. Point-blank range. That hurts my case.
So the victim was stabbed before being shot.
This is the victim's autopsy report, sir. After being stabbed in the chest, he was shot in the forehead at point-blank.
The court accepts it into evidence. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness.
Oh, boy. This is not going well. Okay. Just, Hold it! The murder weapon, Detective Gumshoe. Whose pistol was it? It was the victim's. Oh, boy. The victim. Now, why would he have... Why would he have a pistol? Who cares? The point is that you are missing... is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start.
Fingerprints? There were fingerprints.
Along with the victims, the defendant, Maya Faze, were also on the grip, sir. Oh boy, this is not looking good. I came into this trial actually feeling pretty confident that there were quite a few contradictions. But those are just going away.
So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon.
I walked right into her hands there. That was fired from point-blank range. Okay, I need him to be sure on that. Point-blank, huh? So, about how far away is that? It's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away. And how do you know he was shot at point-blank? Tisk, 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 Mr. Phoenix Wright. I grow tired of the foolish foolery of the foolish fools of this foolish country. Wow. She has a way with words, I'll give her that. Excuse me? A gunpowder burn. Gunpowder burn? When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire, and that gets real hot, pal. And there were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead. Oh, never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. Yes. What else we got? Stabbed. And what was he stabbed with? A fruit knife.
I see, and whose knife was it?
It looks like it belongs to the Faye's, sir. And of course, Maya Faye's fingerprints were all over it.
All over it, huh?
Ugh, this does not look good. Well, okay, that's less definitive because that time I did press a button. That's less definitive because, I mean, a fruit knife, obviously, if it was used by everyone, would have her fingerprints on it. What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Keep plugging away because there's something wrong here. How severe was the wound? If it had been half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. This testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with the intent to kill. Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot? Yup, sure as sure can be. One look at the wounds and you'd come to the same conclusion too, pal. A fool is a fool who will only listen to the foolish opinions of other foolish fools. A pistol shot to the forehead at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. Does it matter then which was first? Yes. Think a little more before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I don't like the way she says my name. Ugh, what a pain.
That's enough. We have clearly established how the victim was murdered.
I brought the 2 murder weapons with me today.
Very well, the court accepts them into evidence.
2 shots fired. Murder, that's not a murder weapon, though. A small fruit knife belongs to the Faye's, bears Maya's fingerprints. The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time. Did we? Did we hear 2?
And 2 murder weapons, both with the defendant's fingerprints on them, huh? This does seem like an open and shut case.
Naturally. This is going from bad to worse. As if the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme. Your Honor, feel free to slam that little gavel of yours. After all, there's no room left for doubt, is there?
That is quite true, Mr. Wright.
Yes?
Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It's the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose.
See, just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You would change your plea in less than 10 minutes.
What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense because now would be the time to do so? This is your final chance.
This is a huge decision. Plea justified not guilty. Is that an option? Boy. I mean, come on. I feel like there was only one time in the last game where the right move wasn't just like plowing forward no matter what. And I feel like they telegraphed that one pretty hard. Not guilty. If we plead justified self-defense, we would basically be confessing to a murder. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined, and she'd be labeled a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honor?
Have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright?
The defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of complete acquittal. I just got whipped. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Detective? Yes, sir. Present the final portion of your testimony. The final strike. Yes, sir.
Now, see here, proceedings are run by...
Eek. I want to be mad about this, but it is pretty funny.
Oh, yes, of course. Go ahead, detective, and give your testimony.
I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence. Oh boy. Sorry, pal, but there's even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. Well, we knew that. This isn't new. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Oh, so it would have been a trap. It would have been a trap to please self-defense because they would have been like, no, he didn't fight back.
Ha! So this is the costume. There certainly is evidence of back spray of blood on this.
This piece directly links Maya Fey to the crime, sir. Does it?
I see the court accepts this into evidence.
Clothes Maya was wearing at the time of the murder. There are blood splatters on it.
All right, Mr. Wright.
Maya's fingerprints on both murder weapons and blood splatters on her clothes. Could the situation get any worse? Why would you ask that? What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to sulk off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing. Okay. What do we have to work with here? Press. Why didn't you say so in your testimony earlier? You're kind of scared today, you know, pal.
Come now, Mr. Wright. There's no need for that kind of attitude in my court. All right, just please stop glaring at me like that.
Poor judge is getting bullied by everybody. We didn't get an answer on that, by the way. Maya's costume? Yeah, she was wearing this when we arrested her. Maya, she's wearing her channeling costume today, too. Is she not allowed to wear anything else? Covered in blood. This blood on the costume. Lab results show it is the victim's blood. Okay. Nothing we didn't know. That makes no difference.
So there's blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes.
Definitely not good. So were there any other clues you could glean from this piece of evidence? Well... If you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad, not enough time. Let's move on.
Ah, yes, Miss Von Karma is perfectly correct.
Now even the judge is on her side. But if I bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do? I feel like we press further, right? Yeah, I need that evidence, whatever it is. Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about it that way. There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There must be something about this costume. Oh, can I look at it? No. Clothes Maya was wearing at the time of the murder. There are blood splatters on it. Okay. I just have to look harder.
Mr. Wright, Miss Von Karma's logic is perfect. There is no way for you to poke a hole in it.
Looks like my time is up. So, about the costume. What? Why can't I look at this? I was able to look at it a second ago, right? Maybe not. There's one little thing. I don't know what. Your Honor? Actually, there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence.
What?
What are you talking about, pal? She knows what it is.
Well, where is this problem you are talking about?
I've come this far. There's no turning back now. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. Okay, so blood. There's no blood on the inside. That was my first thought. Oh! Is that what I think it is? Because there were 2 shots, but he was, as far as I know, so she would have been stabbed. And then, in theory, Maya would have grabbed the gun and shot him. So he shot first. Right? That's gotta be a bullet hole. I asked the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume.
Sleeve? There is a tiny hole here.
A hole? But that wasn't in the report.
Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Aha!
Good gunpowder? No one ever told me. There were 2 shots. That's why.
A hole that smells of gunpowder?
It looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Ha! I just realized that was a pun. Before, because the judge said something about a hole. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole. There we go. Okay.
Order. This is a very grave matter. It's best we correct the court record first before anything else.
Press the check button for further details. Okay. Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. Ooh, she's mad. Is she actually smiling? She's not mad at all. What else is she hiding? Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That just now is a fluke. Nothing more. Now, how can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight.
Well, I agree it was a mistake on the part of the police. What Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then...
No way.
Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony.
Yes, sir. Killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. It's wrong. He wasn't fighting back. How do you know if he was or wasn't? We can find no evidence that the victim put up any sort of struggle, pal.
So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around this murder changed drastically.
We're in real trouble now. If only I had something to prove that the victim did fight back. Oh, no! Oh, should I have taken the plea? Head Von Karma, she thinks she can decide the verdict with this testimony alone. Well, I'll find a critical contradiction somehow, and then I'll have her. So he proved that he did fight back. Okay, wait, hold on. I can check this. Nothing new. Okay, I'm gonna present this. Because that's just wrong. Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes. Having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling. You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Yeah, I did. He's just like laughing about it. What? Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean? What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back? You're right.
It seems you are correct. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything.
Alright, the wind seems to be shifting. Huh. What is it with that "are you finished yet" laugh? Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Miss Von Karma?
It seems that Maya Fey was shot by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea.
That is correct.
But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty. I Oh boy.
Why, that's right.
Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all.
No. Well, yes, that's true.
Furthermore, just the fact that there's a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even a plea of justified self-defense. Alright, so she wasn't going to let me off the hook either way. Alright, I actually feel a little bit better now.
How so?
Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course. You mean by myself? You want me to put together the scenario all by myself? Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Hey?
What transpired? During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. No, that's wrong.
This scenario you've put together does make sense.
Yes, sir.
Well, Mr. Wright?
On the surface, it does seem to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily.
Please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, your cross-examination, please.
Okay, we'll start with pressing everything. Okay. Her channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the... No... I don't know. How do you prove that? That's just wrong on the face of it. There's quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Not to mention it. Yeah, I guess. You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling with the crane channeling technique, the medium physically changes. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. How does she know this? I don't believe it. She even studied up on the crane channeling technique. Like I said before, I am perfect.
About what you were talking about, I didn't quite get that. Never mind. Let's continue with the testimony.
The victim used the last of his strength to fight back. He was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. But if you think about the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad. How badly hurt would you say he was? Actually, I went to give blood the other day, and afterward I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times that dizziness. Sorry. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Where in the world did the pistol come from? It doesn't matter, I guess. It looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day. Whoa, hold on. But a handgun? He got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder. Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something? The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. So you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but yeah, that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when a shot was fired. I am really glad you weren't hurt. The defendant then picked up the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. Maya's never fired a gun before in her life. Oh, this is where we find out the nurse was like... I don't even know. Someone who's really good with guns. The victim had already taken off the safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you could fire it just by pulling the trigger. Me, I wonder. Now do you understand? Von Karma's logic is perfect. His testimony certainly makes us look very bad, but there's gotta be a contradiction in there somewhere, and uncovering it is going to uncover the truth. I can feel it. So I have to present something. What do I have to present, though? Okay, so what have we not presented that would be relevant here? There's the gun. 2 shots fired. There's Maya and Gray's fingerprints. Murder weapon. A small fruit knife belongs to the Fays. Bears Maya's fingerprints. Stabbed in the chest, then shot at point blank. Gunpowder residue around the bullet hole. Diagram of the channeling chamber. I don't think this is going to help. Would there be... maybe it doesn't matter. Let's go back to this. Like, I'm wondering, would there be gunpowder? Like, assuming that both shots were fired at the same distance, which they would have to be. If she stabbed him first, they're up close. He shoots, and then they would be at the same distance. So there should be gunpowder there. I don't know if that would have like come off as like the day's events went. 14 patients died from malpractice. I don't think that's gonna help here. No, I'm pretty sure all our evidence is in the is like this stuff in later for now. Saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. I have like a huge problem with that. Like that makes no sense. No, I don't think it'd be there. Of course the victim used the last of his strength to fight back. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Okay. I don't think that's gonna be anything. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. I kind of want to use the clothes here, but I feel like we just used the clothes. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it. That's going to be hard to refute. Okay. Testimony certainly makes us look very bad. Blah, blah, blah. So let's see. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. I want to argue that, but I don't think there's any evidence. Because that, to me, like, they're making an assumption. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back. Based on the first assumption, I don't think I have anything I can argue against here. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close... I have no other ideas. They went silent, which is usually a good sign. Missing the tiny hole on this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. What do you mean? This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume? Okay, good. Cause I'm like, I could see it maybe not showing up on the costume or like not staying, but maybe not actually. So he shot first. Gunpowder burn. This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet's hole. Oh, but there is not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume.
That is a very good point. And what exactly does this mean?
It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain away anything. But then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then, when they were separated, that he fired. How was that? As if that was even possible, according to the testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. Ooh, she's sweating. Well then. That's right, the defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. There, that should satisfy even you.
That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright?
You must be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. It makes sense. Something doesn't make sense. I don't know what. I'm gonna go with it. There's a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor. Fatal
flaw? Yow!
Very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. Oh boy. I just realized we're running a little long. I think I'll end this episode here. I was thinking about doing the trials. All is one thing, but I think if there's like a break point, I might just end it. It's gonna be a work in progress. We'll see what works, but I am gonna cut this episode here, and we'll just have to figure out what doesn't make sense in the next episode. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.